Employee interviews are heavily influenced by psychology, but what if I told you that currently many IT companies are hiring employees based on AI interviews? They say that AI interviews are more efficient, less time consuming, and they quickly hire the employees that they need. So they are using AI to do the work of interview process. So in a way, we can say first humans created AI, and then AI is going to again hire the humans. Isn't it strange? AI is already said to be in a position of replacing a number of jobs, but now it is also trying to get into the HR department and using psychological assessments, tools, techniques for the purpose of hiring the required employees to that particular organization. Currently, it is said that nearly 24% of the companies are using AI for the purpose of hiring, and 19% others are also planning to add on in the upcoming time period in a very short span of time. Engineers in India currently in the big companies like Wipro, Infosys, HCL Tech, and so on are being hired by AI interviews. So, conversational AI is taking up the job. So the next time you are going to go to such companies for the purpose of interviews, you have to be prepared in your mind that now AI might be just taking up your interviews. So what can you, so we are here to discuss what kind of preparation do you need for such AI interviews? Will they be different? Will you have some challenges, and how you can crack these interviews with ease? If you hear it from the recruiters, they say AI is less time consuming, it hires without any bias, and the process takes place very quickly. And at the same time, we get the employees whom we really need. The success rate for such interview processes are nearly 53%, which is a huge number. Also, certain companies are saying that the AI facial recognition tool helps them to identify those who are actually using false identity during the time period of training and development. Firstly, let us see what are the crucial phases of the interview process that normally takes in the HR department. And now we are going to see also how and which part of this interview process is going to be replaced by the AI. The first step when you are going through the interview process will be naturally screening and shortlisting of the resumes and the candidates. So this is basically done to match the job requirements and the candidates' profiles, whatever have been received. So are they suitable for that particular job or not? The second step would be a general interview process where a one-on-one interaction will take place, where the candidate is questioned on certain other parameters and looking at technical skills, the cultural traits, maybe their presentation, body language, and so on. Candidates are shortlisted again in this round based on their skill sets and the way they have presented it and what exactly is their experience in that particular field. So after this particular interview process finishes, then there could be further interview processes for the purpose of shortlisting of the candidate to understand whether they are a cultural fit in that organization, whether they'll be able to perform in that job role well or not. So there would be other parameters that would also be taken into consideration during the further interview processes that may be taken up after the first general interview is over. Once the interview processes are finalized or finished, then comes the next step of shortlisting of the candidates and hiring them as the company would be requiring. In this entire process, where will AI come into picture? That is what we need to see. So if you look at the interview process, the 4-step interview process that I just discussed, in the first process, it was screening and shortlisting, and second process was a general one-on-one interaction interview, which talks about a little more in-depth understanding of the candidate. So these two areas of interview processes will and are actually being conducted by the artificial intelligence that the companies have taken up. So when you as a candidate are going to appear in such type of interviews, what are the things that you need to keep in your mind and be prepared well so that you can crack this interview and actually be the next employee of that organization? So this is what we are going to discuss in the further parts of the video. So stay tuned till the end and understand this in detail. So in the first step, AI is going to actually look at your profile and they are going to complete the process of screening and shortlisting of you as a candidate. Now, what are you going to put forth for this purpose? You're going to put forth your resume. So in your resume, you have to be very careful in mentioning details that a machine can understand, right? So naturally, it's a software, it's a program, and so that program should be able to understand keywords and the important elements that can actually show that you're suitable for the job requirement that they've posted. Your resume should do the speaking. It should actually be taking care of introducing yourself in a precise and a very specific manner. If, let's say, the profile that is required by the organization says we need a cashier, so obviously they will require the graduation in a specific stream, and also they will require math skills, and at the same time some certain computer skills. So your resume should definitely mention these things, that you have the needed graduation, so that graduation degree should be there. At the same time, you are also going to mention that your math skills are good, and at the same time your computer skills are good, whatever is the requirement. Now, of course, you can't just fake it. You have to actually be good at it and then put it in the resume. That is very important, because later on in that process, even if you put that you're good in math skills, in the second round, that is when there's a one-on-one interaction with the AI, the system is naturally going to check your skill sets, and if you fail there, you're out of the process. So don't think you can cheat the system that is of artificial intelligence. The second round is also very important. This round generally is a video interview process where you are going to actually interact with the artificial intelligence system, the AI bots most of the time, and they're going to talk to you as if some interviewer is asking you questions. So you will respond, and in response, again, they might just ask you a cross question upon whatever you have answered. So be prepared for these kind of things. How to prepare for these kind of things and these type of interactions that you're doing with a machine? Now, understanding a human and a person sitting in front asking you questions, it becomes a little more normalized and you can easily answer. But some people who have actually given the AI interviews say that, oh, no, we felt it very clear and very precise and very nice interacting, in fact, with the AI system than with a normal human being, because the system was very clear and precise and we could also answer in that fashion. Some people who interviewed, whose interviews were based on the AI system, said that, okay, when we answered, the questions that came in return were not really clear and they were not in line with what the answers were. So there was some mismatch in the further questions that were asked by the system. So there are different feedbacks and different understandings of people when they have gone through this interview process. But I'm going to give you a few tips which can be useful for cracking the second round also of the interview process. In this case, in the second round, you have to be prepared just as in the case of a normal interview. So your preparation should match with the normal interview process. Secondly, in this case, you have to remember that you have to be dressed up in a formal manner, just like you would do for a normal interview process. Don't think that machine hai to kya pata chalega. Nahi. You have to be prepared in a normal, formalized fashion, and at the same time, you have to mind your language. Don't use unnecessary jargons and slangs and certain things which the machine may not be able to respond to. Unnecessary jargon is to be avoided at this particular stage. Another important and very important thing is that you have to be yourself, and at the same time, whatever skill sets you've mentioned in your profile should be reflected in this interview. You say you're confident and then you're stammering, your body language shows something otherwise. So this will be immediately caught by the AI system and you are going to be out. So if you don't want that, write the profile and also be the profile. So both should match, not just writing like heavy language and good things about yourselves, which actually don't exist. So you're going to be out of that interview process for sure. Be real. Don't do exaggeration about your own skill sets and certain things. So if you know something, write it in a detailed manner, in a proper fashion, so that your skill set may be reflected properly. Another thing that you can do is practice with the AI interview systems of interview with the AI interview systems that are available on the internet. So you know how to interact, how to speak, how to talk, how the system is going to catch your language. Does your English or accent actually suit whatever they are putting forth, and so on. If you are having friends and family and other acquaintances who have gone through this particular process of AI interviews, you should talk to them, ask them about their feedback, what issues they faced, what exactly should you be prepared for. So that can again give you a better and clearer understanding of how to face these interviews. So this video definitely will help you to understand that you have to be prepared for an AI interview process in the upcoming time periods. Nearly 50% of the companies are going to do their hiring jobs based on the AI systems in the upcoming time period. So be prepared for this type of interview process. Naturally, you're going to see conversational AI is actually going to take over the interview process in some part, at least in the maybe in the next 1 year or so completely. And you might just have to face all these psychological testing assessments. Then you have to pass through the skill set test and the technical round, whatever it was normally conducted by humans, through the AI systems. Of course, this the most advantageous thing from the side of the candidate is that you might just be having a very clear and proper conversation to the point, not here and there, and at the same time there won't be any human bias which can intervene in this process. So this can be a better option for candidates who have a very precise, clear understanding and a very clear skill set base. They can crack these interviews quite easily, and many of them have already done so. So wish you all the best for such type of AI interview processes, and hope you find this particular video useful and fruitful in understanding this particular process. So just in case you have any questions, you can also put them down in the comment section, and I can help you out in this, in understanding it more better. In case you have not yet subscribed to Mind Wellness every day, do subscribe, because I'm going to keep giving you tips on mind wellness and psychology and things which are changing in the psychological perspective, the modern changes, relationship issues, and a number of things connected with everyday life, so that your life is more happy and happening. So, hope to see you in the next video of Mind Wellness every day. Thank you.